MTT9. This is all about relative minors and majors. So we've not come across relative minors and majors before. We do know about minor and major because we've looked at that in previous MTTs. But what is this about relative? We know what a relative is in terms of our family, and that is going to come in handy here. So just as you have close relatives in your family, so major keys have keys that are closely related. Okay, the closest minor key to each major key is called its relative minor. So imagine you've got a major key like C major. What it's saying is that major key has a cousin, or even closer than that, maybe a brother, and which is a minor key. Okay. And every major key has a brother, or a relative which is related to them. So they share a key signature. The thing that they have in common is they have the same key signature, just as people share characteristics with their family. So as you know from grade 1, the key of C major has no sharps or flats in its key signature. We know that from looking at all the scales and keys that we did previously. Likewise, the relative minor key of C major has no sharps or flats either. Okay? So if you take that rule, you know that a major key, its relative minor, will have exactly the same key signature. So then you just have to follow that rule with question 1. So it says, using your knowledge of the major keys from grade 1, write out the key signatures for their relative minors. So I'm hoping you're going to remember what we did in the spring term looking at keys and key signatures. The first example is key signature of G major. Hopefully you know that the key signature of G major is 1 sharp, an F sharp. So they put that there for you. So based on this rule that we just read about, the key signature of the G major's relative minor, well, it will be the same. So you do exactly the same. And I'll let you do the rest, because you've got to remember what the key signature is of C major, and its relative minor will be the same, and then the key signature of F major, and that will be the same. Okay? Right. Turning over. Finding the tonic of a relative minor. Lots of weird terms here. The tonic means the first note of the scale. Okay, we've looked at scales before. We know a scale is based around, you've got 8 notes going up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The first note of the scale is the tonic. Okay, so finding the tonic of a relative minor key. Let's have a look. It says count down 3 semitones from the tonic of a major key, and you'll find the tonic of its relative minor. So that's how you find, that's the relationship between the major and the relative minor. The relative minor will be 3 semitones lower than the major. So we've got an example. The tonic of C major is C, and to find its relative minor, we just go down 3 semitones. So from C, down 1 is to B, down another one to B flat, and then down another one to A. So we know now that the relative minor of C major is A minor. Okay? So we're going to have to do that for question 1. Count down 3 semitones to find the tonic of each relative minor. So the question really is saying, what is the relative minor of F major? The key of F major, what is its relative minor? Remember we said that every major key has a relative, like a brother, has a relative minor. So F major, F is there, we go down 3 semitones. So F to E, then to E flat, and then D. Okay, you have to it's easiest to do this on a keyboard and look at the keys on a keyboard and go down 3 semitones on a keyboard, okay? So that is going to be there. And it doesn't actually ask you to write what that is, but I'm just going to say it's D minor. So that's D minor. You don't need to do that though, I don't think. And then G major, so down 3 semitones from G, G to F sharp to F, and then F to E. So that's gone down to E. And that, incidentally, it's always going to look like this. It's always going to look like it's gone down to a line and a space. It's always going to look like that. So it's gone down to the next line, and that's going to look like that. So, okay. And I'll let you do this. This is the same, but going the opposite way. So if you start on a minor, that's D minor, you're going to go up 3 semitones to find, you're not actually looking, sorry. This question here is doing the opposite of what we've just done. Finding the tonic of a relative major key. When you start with a minor, the minor key, you go up 3 semitones to find its relative major. So you do the opposite. Okay, and I'll let you do that. Okay, that's MTT9.